Hello, everyone. This evening, I'd like to address the future of vocational education in the North Bend Central Public School District. First off, I'd like to address the things that North Bend Central does offer vocationally. In the 8th grade level, we start off with an exploratory program where the 8th graders, all during the same period, will break up into 4 separate groups, and each of those groups will go to a different teacher. So during that period, they will go to classes such as industrial technology. In there, they'll learn the basics of industrial technology. They'll learn kind of woods, a little bit of the engines portion, building bridges, architecture, and those sorts of things. The other class that they'll take during that time will be computers. And in that class, they'll learn obviously the Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, all the Microsoft Office type stuff. I know they'll do some keyboarding. I know this year they even started doing some coding stuff, which obviously has some industrial implications in itself. They will also take home economics classes. In there, they'll learn to do some sewing, and they'll learn to do some cooking, and those basic sorts of home skills. And then the last one they take is actually Spanish, and that I know obviously does not have industrial implications, but I do feel that it has some social implications to go along with it, and it's very important to do that. So moving on to the high school level, after the 8th grade exploratory, we offer various vocational courses. Those include woods, computers, accounting. They do small engines. We offer various agricultural classes. We offer some nursing courses. In there, we include things like medical terminology and CPR. And next year, we're actually adding a course called Careers, wherein they'll actually go in and explore those various career clusters that the Nebraska Department of Education has provided, and they'll take those career quizzes and skills quizzes and things that hopefully kind of point children in a direction where they can say, you know, I have this particular skill set, or I have this talent or interest. Where does that line me up with careers? What sorts of careers could I do with those? You know, and perhaps they can then investigate, okay, would this career that I'm interested in maybe take me to a 4-year university where I get a professional degree? Or is it going to take me, you know, to a 2-year technical degree or something like that? So I think that's going to be a great class that we're going to have. Over the summer, I know that we're purchasing a 3D printer and scanner for the art room, which obviously has industrial implications in itself. The ag department just purchased a drone, which obviously has industrial needs and uses there. Some students choose to go on work release. We have a work release program where some students go and they get out a period or two at the end of the day, and they go and work for a technical job, whether that be, you know, in an automotive shop, a welding shop, on the farm. They do various things like that, and they get high school credit for those classes in addition to being paid for their services, and they get those skills that might be needed in future jobs that they might be interested in. I also know that juniors do a job shadow program through our counseling department. That lasts usually, I think, 3 to 4 days, and the counseling office finds out kind of what careers our students are interested in and tries to line them up with a professional in either in our community or a surrounding community that the students can job shadow for several days to kind of look at, you know, is this a job that I am interested in? What sorts of skills are involved with it, and those sorts of things. And then the last thing that we do very well, I think, for our vocational or career development is that some students just choose to take dual enrollment courses for college credit, and I know we do a lot of that through either Wayne State College or Northeast Community College. But those students will come out of high school, some of them with, you know, some of them come out with a year of college credit already towards a degree. So those are all the great things I think we do great. Some of the things that kind of hold us back are things that we can improve upon in North Bend. Number one, we have a limited staff. North Bend Central is a Class C1 school, and also because of that, we have a Class C1 staff. So we have very limited people. You know, we can't offer a lot of the things that some Class A type schools would offer. I know when I taught in North Platte, in the industrial technology department, they had 3 teachers alone that taught the various courses. So they could offer things, not just woods or not just, small engines. They were able to offer large engines and automotive classes because they had the staff and the numbers of people to do that. Unfortunately, at North Bend Central, we don't have that sort of staff, at least not yet. And unfortunately, a lot of our staff right now are near retirement age, which means we're having issues filling positions. We have difficulty filling those positions in a school of our size and our location. And in the past years, we've had difficulty keeping the industrial technology department filled. When our industrial technology teacher retired 2 years ago, we had a brand new teacher come in and teach for 1 year and then move on. The next year, we didn't have any people to fill that position, so we actually had to take a student who was in the middle of his student teaching and bring back our retiree from the year before to supervise him for this past year. Luckily, next year we were able to hire a teacher who has been teaching for a number of years, and hopefully he stays around. But because of the high turnover, it's hard to develop those classes and keep a consistency in those vocational courses. So those are some things that we can kind of improve. So let's take kind of a look at the world and job market in vocational education moving forward here. If you look at the unemployment rate in Nebraska, in April of 2015, we had a 2.5% unemployment rate, which is definitely below the average of the United States at 5.4%, and this is all according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, which is a great thing. However, the reason for that unemployment, we have a job market that is filled with a lot of jobs that have a lot of people in them. They're kind of overfilled or oversaturated. So from a teaching example, I was lucky enough that I'm a Spanish teacher, that we're not as, our section is not as saturated or job filled, so I was able to get a job fairly easily. However, you have those sections where you have PE teachers or social studies teachers where there's a lot of those guys out there and a lot of those gals. And that's a great thing. We need those teachers. However, there's not as many positions open for those, 4-year degree jobs. So because of that, that leaves a lot of jobs vacant and open that a 4-year degree just doesn't fill. And those jobs aren't going anywhere. Those plumbing jobs, those electrician jobs, those automotive jobs, they're not going anywhere. There's always going to be a need for someone to work on your car, someone to work on your AC, someone to work on your refrigerator. Those are always going to be jobs that are needed. So those jobs aren't going anywhere. And if you look on the converse side with those kids that have gone to college, over the past 20 years, according to Indiana University Bloomington, 31 million students enrolled in college in some way. They went to college for a semester, they went to college for 3 years, but 31 million students over the last 20 years enrolled in college and did not complete a degree. You kind of have to ask yourself, what if those students had been encouraged to go the technical route instead? Did they go the technical route after they didn't complete college? I don't know. But did they? I don't know. Now in the United States, there are public high schools that teach programs. They're vocational high schools that they teach the same programs that a normal public high school does, but the students are now graduating, number one, with a diploma, and then number two, some sort of certification, whether that be in plumbing or electrician or something. Those students are able to graduate and get those jobs. So what exactly do we do about the job market and the things that we can change here in North Bend? In my opinion, I think we need to expand our vocational offerings, to the best of our abilities and the best of resources we have. However, I think on the same token, we need to be careful that we are still teaching the fundamental education that students are going to need to function in our society. I think we still need to make sure that we are teaching the life skills that students are going to need to function, whether it be in a technical job or moving on to college or going to get a professional degree, things like that. I still think we need to be teaching the general high school courses as well, and making sure that those don't take a back seat to the vocational courses. So thank you for listening to me this evening, and I appreciate everything you do.